Graduates, Shubhank, all of you this side, don't go there. This side.
நீராறும்
Okay. Okay, so let us kindly settle in. The chief guest is actually came for the morning thing, so chief guest is here, so we don't want to delay any further. I think most of you are settled, so let's take a couple of minutes to settle in where we are while the chief guest is on his way. Yeah, please welcome the chief guest. So actually, you know what? I request you all to please raise. So we'll start with invocation songs. It will be Tamil Thai Vaalthu followed by Vande Matram.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீரா நீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் மதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரிதனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே. வந்தே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் சுஜலாம் சுஃபலாம் மலயஜ शीतलाम् सस्यश्यामलाम् मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्नाम् पुलकितयामिनीम् फुल्लकुसुमितद्रुमदलशोभिनीम् सुहासिनीम् सुमधुरभाषिनीम् सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्.
Yeah, thank you. Please be seated. I request our Professor HOD and Professor Shivakumar will now welcome the chief guest with a bouquet. Now, I request the HOD to deliver the welcome address and also present the departmental activity report.
Yeah, first I have to ask whether I'm visible. Good afternoon. Dear Chief Guest, Dr. Ebenezer, invitees, graduates, fellow faculty and staff members, students, ladies and gentlemen, a hearty welcome to you all to this degree distribution program of the Department of Applied Mechanics. This marks a milestone because we are celebrating the 60th convocation of IIT Madras. And you are all proud recipients of degree during this convocation. And do you know, when the world over, the applied mechanics departments are closing down, here is one department at IIT Madras that continues to thrive, not only surviving the test of time, but also unique in being the only postgraduate department of all IITs and IIScs put together. Considering that we also have biomedical engineering specialization in our department right from the inception days, we have now decided to add biomedical engineering to our department name officially. The Board of Governors has recently approved this. It is only a formality that the visitor of the institute, President of India, will eventually provide her nod to this new name. Pending that formal approval, This year, degrees will be awarded in the name of Applied Mechanics Department only. It's going to be a long report that I'm reading, which means that I shouldn't be hearing any snoring because there is a lot of activities that are going on. I don't want to miss anything. The department focuses on academic activities in interdisciplinary areas related to biomedical engineering, biological and bio-inspired systems, fluid mechanics, and solid mechanics. We offer 3 MTech programs now, namely computational and experimental mechanics, biomedical engineering, and clinical engineering. This is apart from the several interdisciplinary dual degree programs that are coordinated and offered, apart from the electives that are offered for other triple ID programs. Currently, close to about 400 students and scholars are registered with our department. About 70 to 75 of them are MTech students. About 90 to 100 are masters, MS by research, and 230 PhD scholars. And about 15 of them are Prime Minister Research Fellows, PMRF they call. And I'm happy to inform that 26 MTech students, 20 MS scholars, and 30 PhD scholars have completed their requirement this year. We have again broken the record for the maximum number of PhD degrees offered by the department. And this is happening every year. Currently, we boast of serving with 34 faculty members and 10 technical and administrative staff members. Dr. Lakshminath and Dr. Ganga Prasad are the new additions to our faculty team this year. And Ms. Revati is an addition to our administrative staff. One more new faculty member is soon joining. His name is Dr. Kannabiran. Dr. Pandian, I don't know if he's among us here, who joined our department as a visiting faculty, has brought with him vast experience in space technology, having served in ISRO for over 3 decades, and has been helping us bridge gaps between research, development, and realization. This trend of hosting visiting faculty continues since it brings new perspectives to the department's research and culture in general. Professor Bala Natarajan, Professor Semal Basaran, Professor Stephen Lavelle, Professor Anita Mahadevan, who is president of SPAE, and Professor Anna Lavelle came last year on short visits working with different groups of our department. Professor Venkatraman Sadanand, who is our alumnus, also a medical surgeon, was with our Professor Manivanan's group working on a Center for Excellence project, and we had several interactions, useful interactions with him. Many of our faculties also visit several universities abroad and in India, either as a part of collaborative research or to give talks and interact with the people there. The number of such visits exceeded about 50 last year, which is a record again. Recently, Dr. Anubhav Roy has been appointed CNRS visiting professor at the Laboratoire de Physique in France for 2023. We have about 15 adjunct faculty members from various universities world over who are engaged with collaborative work with our faculty colleagues, and many of them act as co-guides for our research scholars. We also have several guest faculty who complement our course offerings. Professor B.S. Prabhu, who served our faculty for 37 years and headed our department back in the 90s, is sadly no more with us. He was one HOD I fondly remember for the friendly nature he had to the then young faculty like us. We pray for his Sadgati. The department is engaged in constant refinement of its course offerings in terms of new courses and changes in curricula. Many of the faculty members are gifted with good teaching that are reflected both in course feedback as well as constant participation from undergraduate and postgraduate students in various projects and internships of the department. As a testimony, Dr. Anubhav Roy was awarded the prestigious Srimati Marti Annapurna Gurunath Award for Teaching Excellence in Teaching in 2022. Professor Piyush Ghosh was recognized for his teaching excellence in 2022 in the department. And Professor Ramesh received the 2023 M.M. Frocht Award for the outstanding achievements in his teaching experimental mechanics. The offerings from our faculty don't remain within the campus, they go beyond the campus in terms of NPTEL online courses that hit very high enrollments term after term. In the past year alone, our faculty members have proposed 6 new courses aligning with the recent trends in research and technology, such as surgical data science, bio-inspired engineering, nanobiophysics, introduction to multi-phase flows, physiological control systems, and more recently, geometry and mechanics of materials. New faculty, new knowledge, new approaches. Our faculty are also involved in joint doctoral degree programs with various universities, such as University of Melbourne, Swinburne University in Australia, NTU Singapore, and Aachen University, Germany, to name a few. We have even attracted the Biomedical International Masters Program. We have even started the Biomedical International Masters Program. It has attracted many foreign students to come and pursue their master's degree in our department. Dr. Sujata is championing this effort. A couple of those students are even upgrading to a PhD. Recognizing the need for going the entrepreneurship way, MS in Entrepreneurship is spearheaded by Dr. Satya Seshadri, and it has seen large registrations in the program. This time it is more than 25 of them. Many more such initiatives are on the way. Our faculty members have made it a regular practice to reach out to various colleges and institutes offering workshops, lectures, and career guidance to the students there, students and faculty there. This brings about a bridge between our department and the aspiring students in those colleges. Last year, Professor Venkatesan alone made it a point to visit so many such colleges to interact with students and faculty, motivating them to do research, even to tell what research means. Our faculty perspectives are also growing through such interactions. As told earlier, our department has a unique distinction of being a PG-only department, and this greatly helps in our pursuit of excellence in research. The department has continued to intensify its research activities in terms of quality and reliance, and collaborations with industry and foreign university. As you can see, the number of PhDs that have graduated this time is a testimony to it. At this juncture, I would also like to draw upon the fact that our department draws faculty members from various backgrounds, ranging from mechanical engineering, civil engineering, chemical engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, biomedical engineering, aerospace engineering, materials engineering, physics, I'm tired, etc. And therefore, it naturally brings a multidisciplinary nature to our department. That flavor helps us draw inspiration in terms of moving towards interdisciplinary activity. In fact, a variety of about 35 different labs exist in our department. I don't know if graduating students themselves know about it. Faculty members who have joined recently are embellishing our department with labs that have current focus, such as Inspired Lab, inspired from Bio-Inspired, Nanomolecular Lab, Flow Lab, and Interface Lab. Apart from this, labs such as Energy and Emissions Lab, Multiscale Mechanics Lab, Soft Matter Mechanics Lab, Flow Instabilities and Complex Fluids Lab, Micro and Nanoscale Transport Lab, and Human in Loop Cyber Physical Systems Lab. All these labs, which were developed past 5 years, are growing from strength to strength. In the past few years, our faculty members, research scholars, and project staff have reported their research findings via close to 150 journal publications, which is a record by itself. Not to talk of equal or more number in conference publications and presentations. The number of papers in top quality scientific journals has increased considerably thanks to the quality research done in the department. The citations also have seen a big spike. At this juncture, I also want to mention that Professor Ramakrishnan deserves a special mention. We will need another clap because he has reached a milestone of 500 publications. Many of our scholars have won awards and recognitions in conferences and meetings. Priya Krishnamurthy's poster presentation was recognized in Women in Optics and Photonics Conference in India. Vaishak won Best Paper Award in IEEE-Con 2023 held in Thailand. Sweta Menon was recognized for Best Research Work in AppsCon 2023. Piyush Patra won Best Poster Award in MRF Annual Symposium this year. And INAE recognized the innovative work of Amritesh Kumar and awarded him with the Best Innovative Research Award in the doctoral thesis category. Revati Shri got the Pratibha Eaton Excellence Award this year. In this convocation, there are a few awardees. Gatha Bhatia won Susutra Award for MTech student with Best Academic Record in Biomedical Stream. Mr. Prabh Sharan Singh got the Srikanta Prize for MTech student with Best Academic Record in Clinical Engineering. Dr. Amritesh Kumar is nominated for the V. Ramamurthy Award for the Best Thesis in Applied Mechanics. Dr. Tubi Anudeep is nominated for Professor Radhakrishnan Award for PhD thesis in Biomedical Engineering Research. And Rishabh Shukla is nominated for Professor Radhakrishnan Award for Master's Thesis in Biomedical Engineering Research. Our faculty sit in various national boards and committees that foster quality research and nation building, such as panels of DST, ARDB, NRB, and selection committees in various IITs, NITs, and other universities, national labs, and corporates. Professor Venkatesan is an elected member of ASME. He also sits in various academic boards of the universities, including MNIT, as external member. Professor Sarit Satyan has been inducted as a member of ARDB Aerodynamics panel, while Professor Arakyarajan has become a member of ARDB Structures panel. Professor Rajan is also an active board member of NAC, National Accreditation Board. He is also in the Board of Studies of Tyagaraja College of Engineering. Many of our faculty members are on the editorial board of various international refereed journals, including, I have a long list, let me read it. Journal of Strain, Journal of Optics and Lasers in Engineering, Geomechanics and Geophysics for Geoengineering, Energy and Georesources, Sadhana, Computer Modeling in Engineering and Sciences, International Journal of Computer Methods in Engineering Science, etc. Some of them are also associate editors of some prominent international journals. Dr. Vagesh has been lead guest editor for International Journal of Advances in Engineering Sciences and Applied Mathematics. Dr. Rinku Mukherjee is the handling editor of Frontiers of Bird Science. Dr. Saumendra is the topic editor of Frontiers in Cell and Developmental Biology. Professor Lakshman Rao is the president of Indian Society for Applied Mechanics, ISAM. Professor Farooq Ali is president-elect, Automatic Control and Dynamic Optimization Society. He is also a national member of IFAC. In addition, he is also associate editor, ASME Journal of Dynamical Systems, Measurements and Control. While Professor Arun Tittai is a steering committee member of IEEE Ultrasonic Ferroelectrics and Frequency Control. I'm sorry about that. He is on the steering committee of the IEEE Transactions in Medical Imaging also. Dr. Sujata is currently a technical advisor committee member in ICMR DHR Center for Excellence. She is also editor of SPIE Proceedings in Women in Optics and Photonics in India 2022. Dr. Swati is editor of Frontiers in Bioengineering and Biotechnology. These are only a few that I have listed. As a way of dissemination through networking, our faculty members and research scholars have attended several conferences and workshops and presented the research. Some of our faculty members also organized workshops and conferences, national and international. Again, last year saw a large number of them compensating for the paucity that occurred during COVID period. Many also served on the scientific advisory board and steering committees of several national and international conferences and workshops. The list is too long to read, so I'm going to skip and go to the next one. In the recent past, our department has received several sponsored and industrial research projects worth, I was astonished by the number, I double-checked with my office, more than 95 crores. The projects include major nation-building initiatives such as Imprint, Uchatar Avishkar Yojana, Make in India, and startup grants. Various private and government agencies have awarded these projects, including MHRD, DST, DBT, ISRO, ARDB, Apollo Tires, Verizon, RANE, Caterpillar, GE, Novaris, Promac Engineering, Dunfas, Appasamy Associates, Viva Dex Labs, Design Alpha Private Limited, and Indo-US and Indo-German centers. Our faculty members are also actively engaged in a large number of Centers for Excellence projects as a part of IOE grant that the Institute receives. The new addition to that in the second phase of IOE Centers of Excellence is the Energy Center, bringing together several different centers together under one umbrella as an energy consortium to meet the needs of the nation and the ambitions for a clean energy sector. Professor Satya Seshadri is championing this effort. And as a part of this effort, Australia-India Center for Energy and AICE and Industry Energy Assessment Cell Network has been formed with 7 IITs coming together. Under the stewardship of Professor Shayan, the Complex Systems Group is making great strides. They've had few meetings in the recent academic year, such as international workshop on reservoir computing and neural networks, symposium on epidemic modeling. Various invited talks on the emerging topics were also arranged. It is worth noting that Indo-Swedish joint proposal for circular economy proposed by Dr. Swati has been approved, I think. She also organized an international conference on sustainable and nanotechnology for agriculture and healthcare that ended yesterday. As you know, of late, India is figuring in the world arena of sports, and the future is going to be bright because IIT Madras, specifically Applied Mechanics Department, is involved, turning its attention towards sports mechanics and science. Thanks to Dr. Babji and Professor Mahesh. More of we faculty members are getting drawn into it. Recently, we have signed MOUs with the Sports Authority of India, Inspire Institute of Sports, and Royal Challengers Bangalore. And therefore, this is bound to take off on a larger scale in the coming years. The academic year that has just ended saw large value equipment acquired or fabricated in the labs in-house. I'm just going to name a few. A high-performance computing cluster named Synchrony has been acquired recently. It serves the purpose of high number crunching and data processing capabilities. A state-of-the-art optic fiber bending machine has been developed in-house by Professor Sai's group. Work by Dr. Saumendra and his group has led to fabrication of indigenously developed optical tweezers and cell stretcher devices. We are in the process of acquiring a 3D printer for carbon fiber composite printing. A card-based whole-body ultrascanner has been built by Professor Arun's group, and it is going to be a game changer as far as ultrasound scanning is concerned. Our department has seen several collaborations maturing while new collaborations have started to blossom. We have collaborations with a large number of universities, organizations, and institutes. I wish to read out a modest list, but I think I'll run out of time, so I'll just skip it. The number is around 35 or 40. Some more, a collaborative project with Australian government is underway to conduct microgravity related studies. Dr. Swati and Professor Pandian are involved in this. In addition, there is an Australian collaboration on responsible AI initiated by Dr. Satya Seshadri. We are also stepping into AR/VR arena with a focus not only in biomedical side, but also in space applications. Professor Manivannan is involved in this. There is an MOU that is being signed between Human Space Flight Center and IIT Madras. It's a large effort, and the first study is going to be XR-based functional anthropometry. Two of our new colleagues, Dr. Swati and Dr. Kiran, are recipients of grants. I think they have received it from the STARS scheme. STARS scheme is a scheme for transformational and advanced research in sciences. Department of Applied Mechanics leads in translational aspects of research. Our faculty members have filed 16 patents and 13 additional have been granted this year. Again, a record. Our colleagues are leading from the front in terms of running their own startups based on the ideas and innovations that emanate from their research labs. The department is among the top in the institute in terms of faculty-factored number of startups incubated. Our colleague Dr. Satya Seshadri is also actively involved in Nirman, which is a startup nursery on campus, motivating students and scholars to start doing it early. Professor Ramesh's software on digital photomechanics has caught attention of industry associates who are looking into using the software in the industry. Professor Raghavendra Sai is developing a point-of-care device for tuberculosis diagnosis from the urine samples. As a part of our outreach efforts and knowledge dissemination to wider academic community of the country, our colleagues have organized several short-term courses, training programs, spearheaded by a few faculty members. Professor Piyush's CREATE Center is a nodal center for rural education, applied technology, and entrepreneurship, and several projects are underway under this umbrella. Professor Pandian's involvement in Anaivarkum IIT, IIT for All in Tanjavur, and Dr. Ganga Prasad's workshop in RSIC Children's Summer Program are some of those worth mentioning. I'm going to skip a little bit because Arun is getting a little bit tensed. That's the advantage of being head of the department, so that he cannot ask me immediately. As Dean of Alumni Affairs, Professor Mahesh has been making huge strides in terms of involving alumni in the initiatives and activities of the institute. Thereby, he has helped fulfill the heartfelt connection that the alumni have for the institute. I'm sure the alumni here also will start to do the same. CSR activities have taken off exponentially, paving a way for our faculty members and students to be involved in society building. There are as many as 25 CSR projects running currently. For want of time, I'm going to skip a few and go to a few more that relate to students and faculty in the extracurricular activity. Active participation is seen among faculty and students in extracurricular activities. Professor Anuradha Banerjee served as Institute's Women's Sports Advisor, while Professor Arul Prakash is serving as Chief Institute Sports Advisor. Professor Sarit is involved in the timetable committee. Professor Piyush is advisor for social outreach and CREATE. Dr. Satya is advisor Nirman, while Professor Mahesh is Dean of Alumni and Corporate Affairs. Our scholars and students have shown great enthusiasm through activities under AMSA. Last year saw several activities, including industrial tours to Shar, Daimler, etc. And this year we are seeing a vibrant members of AMSA, and I'm sure it is going to be a different year the coming year. Last few, we have 10 gems among our administrative and technical staff members in the department. Add 4 who are contractual. Without their day-to-day support and diligence, all that I have reported so far, such as success, wouldn't have been possible. Let's give them a big hand. Last year, some of them got promoted. Mr. Karthik and Dilesh got promoted as senior technicians. The meticulous Ms. Revati has been promoted to senior assistant level. Mr. Elongo won the NASA elections as joint secretary. He is one person who goes beyond his call of duty to help several activities in the department. The diligence of Rama Madam, you all know, I don't have to tell you. Their involvement is such that the patent filed by Professor Arokya Rajan involved Mr. Veera Raghavan and Dilesh as patent holders. You can see the all-pervasive Ranjan always around assisting when we need the most. We don't know what time we will call them, but they would be there. The list is long, but I'm going to wind up soon. Please bear with me for just a few more minutes. And they all went on a retreat recently, which our faculty members could not make it happen. A feat that our faculty are struggling to make it happen. Another noteworthy observation is the work ethics and camaraderie among our department staff members. This has influenced even our contractual housekeeping staff. You will see daily Ms. Jayanti working in the corridors like a karma yogi, to the extent that I have named her Karyame Kannayaram Jayanti. I'm also one of the most fortunate HODs to have full cooperation from my faculty members. Every one of the faculty members is involved in some responsibility or the other. This greatly reduces the workload of the head of the department. Future HODs will be very happy to know this. Our department is considered one of the most cohesive departments in the institute. If you have any qualms, find out. If you feel proud about it, we need drishti. Coming to our alumni are successfully pursuing careers in academia and industry alike. Some serve on faculty in IITs, NITs, and other universities, and as heads, scientists in R&D labs in India and abroad, from the oldest to the youngest. Dr. L.S. Ramachandra is one of the oldest faculty serving at IIT Kharagpur. Dr. Santanam in Dr. Santanam in DRDO Hyderabad is now member of ARDB Materials and Manufacturing Panel. Professor Ramji is heading the Mechanical Engineering of IIT Hyderabad, while Professor Jayabal is heading Mechanical Engineering Department at IIT DM Kanjipuram. This is just to name a few. On this occasion, on behalf of our faculty, staff, and students, scholars, I sincerely thank the director, the registrar, and the IIT administration for all the generous support extended to us. Thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Ebenezer, for readily agreeing to grace the occasion. Having associated with him, I celebrate his passion for the subject and his unassuming character, a source of inspiration to draw from. Our association goes back a long time when we had a joint research scholar in the department from NPOL. Sir, we wish to associate with you more often. I'm sure that will bear fruits to us. Lastly, I wish all graduates a very bright career and successful personal lives. And please stay connected with your alma mater. Very important. We are in the process of creating several opportunities for such a sustained connection. And thanks to efforts made by our Dean, Professor Mahesh, these things are bound to happen. Lastly, unknowingly, I could have left out some of those information that should have been reported. Kindly pardon me if that is the case. It is unintentional. I know it is a long report. Thanks for being awake. Because the department has grown to such proportions, and it is showing a potential that seems unbounded. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Shivakumar, for extending a warm welcome and providing a very, very, very detailed, informative report. The graduates can relax. We are not going to have any spot quiz, surprise quiz before you come here. So we'll. Okay. So it gives me immense pleasure and honor to introduce our chief guest for the occasion, Dr. Ebenezer. Dr. Ebenezer was awarded his BTech degree in Naval Architecture by around Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, and a gold medal for his performance in the course. He earned his MS and PhD degree in ocean engineering from the University of Rhode Island, USA. Immediately after his PhD, he joined the National Physical and Oceanographic Laboratory, Kochi, in 1990. At DRDO NPOL, he pioneered the design and development of many different types of underwater transducers and arrays for sonar. He has also brought about fundamental changes in the design of sonar systems by emphasizing that they are solutions to constrained optimization problems. He is the chief designer of the Near Field Acoustic Characterization System, NACS, that is being used by the Indian Navy in all its frontline ships to determine the transmit and receive characteristic of the entire sonar system. He is the recipient of DRDO Science Award, DRDO Technology Award, 2 DRDO Agni Awards, and the Lab Scientist of the Year Award. The Acoustical Society of India made him fellow in 2010 and honored him with MS Narayanan Award in 2012. The nature of his work precludes many publications, but despite he has published 40 papers in premier journals such as Physics of Fluid, Journals of Acoustic Society of America, Journal of Sound and Vibration, and the IEEE Transactions on UFFC. He is currently guiding his 8th PhD student. He has been an associate editor of the Journals of Acoustic Society of America since 2012 and is still the only person in India to hold that prestigious position. He retired in 2020 from NPOL as an outstanding scientist and director systems. At present, he is the adjunct professor at the Department of Ship Technology, Cochin University of Science and Technology, Kochi. His interests include computational fluid dynamics and design of structures. He has been instrumental in getting 2 funded projects worth rupees 50 lakhs for the Department of Ship Technology. So, without much delay, I would request our chief guest to please come and address the gathering.
Esteemed head of the department and faculty of the Department of Applied Mechanics, faculty from other departments, scholars, students in the graduating classes, a lot of parents, other students, well-wishers who are here. It's a privilege to be in your presence here today. I really want to thank the director of IIT Madras and Professor Sivakumar for inviting me to be the chief guest here. I earned 3 degrees, BTech, MS, PhD. However, I could attend only 1 convocation. On 2 of the occasions, I was out of the country. However, I could attend 1 convocation for my daughter. She got 2 degrees, and 1 convocation for my son. He also got 2. So this is really the 4th convocation that I'm attending. Some of your faculty do it every year. And I'm sure it's a great privilege for those who are receiving their degrees today to be able to attend your convocation. I understand that it is possible for at least some of you because today is a Saturday. And perhaps IIT Madras will adjust its calendar a little bit considering the convenience of the students so that more of them will come in person and receive their degrees. I recall fondly my emotions when I came to IIT Madras. I can still recall the first day, what happened in the hostel and things like that. There was no ragging, it was not like that. Yeah, no, okay. I remember completing various milestones in my academic calendar, planning for what next, actually going to the next degree, meeting new faculty, having to decide what courses to choose, in what area the research is to be done, etc. I'm sure that the graduating students are feeling on top of the world. It's rightly so. You have reached a pinnacle. You can look all around you, you can look below you and look back at what all you have experienced. You can see the day on which you joined IIT Madras, perhaps recall your first year, all your anxieties. Now you're all smiling, but I'm sure that in the first week in the Applied Mechanics department, you had many fears. And you met faculty and you were not sure what your stay here was going to be like. Okay. Exciting days when you discovered something enlightening. When you found out that you understood something. You know, Richard Feynman says, understanding something is not just knowing the meaning of a word. If you can deep down understand what you are studying, that gives you joy. And I'm sure there are a few, may not be a large number of such things in your life. And that is what makes the whole journey such great fun. Okay. There's a cliche that says there is no gain without pain. I'm sure you spent many tough nights studying for exams, doing research. But if you can consider all that joy and not pain, you will be ready to do more of it. If you think that is pain, you don't want any more of it. So I urge you to think that is joy, because after that pain, the things that you learn, it's not the marks that you get, it's the understanding, it's the awareness that, oh, I know something today which I did not know yesterday and the week before. That's great. So that's what keeps us going. You're all still young. You all have much more to do. You have reached one pinnacle. There are many more tall mountains ahead of you. At this point of time, you may not see them. Maybe some of you are able to look ahead and see what lies there for you in your life. But do not be content with whatever pinnacle you have reached. If you are good enough to get admission to IIT Madras and graduate today, you are good enough for many more things. So the biggest mistake you will make in your life is thinking that I have achieved what I want in my life. If you do that, you will kind of waste all the education and everything else that you have acquired. Last night I recalled an interesting project which was started maybe 10 years ago. I'm not very sure how well it is doing now. They called it something like academic tree or academic genealogy. And so what they did was they tried to map this professor guided this student and that student guided this person, and that's how the tree is going. And they drew a map of where these people are today, where they did their PhDs and where they are today, and who their children are and who their cousins are, etc. I wonder how many of your guides have talked with you about their guides and how their life was when they were doing research. And perhaps I'm sure that they could empathize with you when you had anxieties. So now I guide a lot of students. I'm into my 8th PhD student, but maybe 30 or 40th MTech student. So when they come and they will come with fear and say, sir, I cannot do this. So one thing I tell them is, please don't think that it is your problem. It is my problem. You will get a degree, but it is my problem and you help me to solve it. So we try to keep them calm, not get too worried about, because they cannot see far enough ahead. Typically your guide can see what's coming 2-3 months down the line, but you cannot see it. So you are more anxious than your guide. So anyway, the important thing is that you need to be calm. We are hoping that you will one day, the PhDs and the MTechs will have children and grandchildren in the academic tree. We are hoping that you will be able to guide others and help them to discover the joy of doing research. Talking about ancestry, Some of you, at least I'm sure, are the first engineers in your family. I see many heads nodding. I'm sure many of you are the first people to study in an IIT. So you're all very privileged. You've received some gifts, God has given you that, but you worked hard and so you're graduating today. But there are many less fortunate people who don't have the same gifts that you have. Even if they put in all the effort that you put in, they cannot achieve the same thing. You cannot play chess like Vishwanath Anand no matter how long you practice or run like Usain Bolt. So it is not just hard work. It is some gifts that you have received and some things that you did not earn. Therefore, when we look around us at other people in our lives, it is important for us to consider those who are less fortunate. Maybe you have risen or will rise from a certain economic level to a much higher economic level because of the gifts that have been given to you. So when we see people around us, I think we should be considerate to them, be willing to help them, give them a lending hand. Often, the poor are more willing to help the poor than the rich are willing to help the poor. So please bear that in mind. Another thing that I would like to talk with you about is living a right life. Living a right life is not the same as publishing papers. Living the right life is doing what is right. In spite of many different voices that we hear today in this world, there's a fair amount of consensus on what is right and what is wrong. I believe that this is because of the conscience within each one of us, no matter where you are born or in what circumstances or family you were born. We have a sense of right and wrong. So I would urge you to listen to your conscience. It is very easy to dull your conscience by repeatedly violating what your conscience is instructing you to do. And after some time, you will stop hearing your own conscience. So the first or second time your conscience tells you something, it's good to pay attention to it. It is good to do what is right. This morning the chief guest referred to a novel. I don't know how many of you are aware of that novel. Basically what that novel says is, there is this place, he talked about it, very happy place, everybody is happy, no king, no police. But the reason for their happiness is one child who is confined, who lives a very terrible life. And this whole town can be happy only as long as that child is confined there. So when people are born, they are not told about what is the reason for their happiness. But at some point of time in their lives, they are taken to this place and shown the child. Then they decide, if my happiness can be there only if this other person has to be so unhappy, I don't want that happiness. There's a good reason for the Chief Justice of India to point out that novel to us. It has got a lot of lessons for us. That is not meant for somebody else. That is meant for me. If my happiness depends on somebody else being unhappy, then I should not live that happy life. So I would urge you to live lives that bring happiness to others. Let me close by wishing you many more laurels. It's a great thing to get a degree from IIT. Let me wish you many more. Never forget your alma mater, your HOD reminded you of that. Store and savor all the good memories of IIT. Don't forget them. I'm sure you got a few bad memories. Please forget them. Don't harbor them. It is good for your health if you are able to forget some of the bad memories that you have. May God bless you. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. That was a very inspiring address and more importantly, very relatable one. I'm sure the students have received the message well and will benefit from the wisdom that you have shared. So now we will all move on to the proud moment that the graduates have been waiting and their parents have been waiting. So what we will do is first we'll start with the prize winners and then we'll go out in the order of PhD and then Master of Science and then MTech. So what we will do is, can I request the Chief Guest and the HOD to please come forward. So I think you have been informed already. So please, when I call out your name, please come through this stairs, walk across, receive, exit through the other one. And please also don't forget to collect a small memento that will be given at the stage there. And then go back, please be seated. Yeah. Madam, ready? Ready? So we'll start with the prize winners. So it was already announced by the HOD in his report. So Sushruta Award for Gatha Bhatia for MTech student with best academic record in biomedical engineering. Dr. S.S. Srikanta Prize to Prabsharan Singh, the MTech student with best academic record in clinical engineering program. So we have Mr. Anudeep, who is receiving Professor Radhakrishnan Award for the scholar with best PhD thesis in biomedical engineering. So now we'll move on to the list for the PhD. Okay, first is Anurag Pant. He receives MS plus PhD degree, working titled Dynamics of Miscible Ethanol Films Spreading on Deep Water Layers. Deepak Kumar for his work on mechanics of crushing of staggered square honeycombs, experiments and simulations. Neeraj Ba for detailed investigation of motor imagery, brain-computer interface in both healthy and paraglyphic subjects. Anila Satish for a work on pseudo-CT image simulation from acquired CT and ultrasound images for potential use in brachytherapy treatment planning of cervical cancer. Akash Verma for his work on prediction of strength characteristics of UD-FRP composites through micromechanical modeling. Satyajit Chaudhary receives his MS plus PhD for his work on influence of wall shear stress on LDL concentration at the lumen surface of blood vessels, as CFC studies. Nimi Tangkom Philip for a work on morphology-based fluid structure interaction studies on the hemodynamic and biomechanical behavior of human aneurysms. Sashi Kumar J for his work on turbulent plane quade flow with a roughened wall. Vaishak V for his work on novel diffuse optical correlation spectroscopy device for assessment of skin microcirculation changes and applications in diabetic neuropathy diagnosis. Anudeep receives MS and PhD for his work on development of novel nonlinear beamformers for ultrasound imaging for clinical and preclinical systems. Shib Sundar Banerjee also receives MS plus PhD for his work on characterization of fatiguing contractions of muscles using myoelectric and mechanical measurements. Giri Abhijit Madhukar for his work on characterizing multiple solutions and strain assessments of nonlinear piezoelectric energy harvesters. Lakshmi M. Hari for her work on analysis of fatiguing contractions in bicep brachii muscle using time frequency decomposed surface EMG signals. Helena Satish for her work on electrophysiological modeling of cardiac channelopathies and ventricular arrhythmias. Sachin Sasikumar receives his MS plus PhD for his work on improvements in total fringe order photoelasticity. V. Amruta for her work on analysis of Alzheimer's conditions using lateral ventricular and corpus callosum textural changes in MR images. Vinodini for her work on analysis of uterine contractions in electromyography signals using topological and cyclic spectral approaches. Pranav Kumar on multi-scale assessments of environmental degradation of metals, implications on plasticity. Vivek Manish for his work on synthesis, characterization, and modeling of gelatin-based smart hydrogels. Sukanta Kumar Tulo for his work on analysis of mediastinum structural changes for the differentiation of abnormalities using radiographic images. Alvin for his work on development of diagnostic devices for pre and post liver transplant care. Now we can move on to masters. Maybe I request our HOD to give the award. So we'll start with the MS awardees first. Mr. Nikhil Janardhan. Himanshu Ramesh Bhai. Himanshu Ramesh Bhai. Shubhankar Karmakar. Shubhankar. KV Rishikesh. Shyam Prasad. Saloni Jain. Ishwar MK. Dhirendra Mishra. Hanok Endigeri. Jay Banushali. Auronal Mukherjee. Yelamanchili Revati Sri. Rudra Prasad. So next we have Omkar, who is having a travel. So we have his mother here to receive and collect it and give it back. Kumar Nandan Sinha. So we have our MTech in computational and experimental mechanics, Trinath Reddy. Kuchhana Sharat Chandra. Pavan Kumar. Richard Mariambam. Suvit Kumar. Yashasvi L. So we then have MTech in biomedical engineering, Bhanurajan. Gata Bhatia. Mayank Hitendra Parikar. Paras Mishra. Pragati R. Jitesh Seth. Jitesh Seth. So Jitesh receives his MTech in computational and experimental mechanics. Sudarshan and D, MTech in biomedical engineering. Hemalata. Mohammad Hamad Babikir Mohammad Hamad. So, now we on to MTech in clinical engineering program. Ankita Modi. Fakir Mohan Patra. Gautam Suresh Moon. Piyush Chandrakant. Prabsharan Singh. Rahul R. V. Sanjay Kumar. Shakuntala Hembram. Vikraman A. Okay. Okay, with that, I think we successfully conclude the distribution of degree certificate event. Now, our HOD will present a memento to our chief guest as a token of our appreciation for him having graced this occasion by his presence. So, I request everyone to please raise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मागे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
So before we disperse, just an announcement. I request everyone to please join us on the ground floor of this building for tea, coffee, snacks. Thank you. And photos. Group photo probably here. Yeah.